Hi, I'm James and you join me here on the edges of the South Lake. Welcome to another episode of Slimbridge's Wildlife Weekly. In this week's episode, we're going to be talking about the peregrine falcon and having a chat with our researchers regarding the Buick swans and a little special bird out on the reserve to keep an eye out for. Well, I was actually lucky enough to see a successful peregrine kill this week. The bird came into a flock of teal and widgeon and struck one of them out and took it down onto the sand, out into the Severn to feed. It's something like 1 out of 10 hunts are successful, so it's always brilliant to see this and very, very exciting. Other birds will quite quickly come in. On this particular kill, I could see the crows coming in, and actually this is what made me think, I'll try and get some video of this. And this is actually quite a long range away, as we can see, but through my telescope I can put a little camera on, which is called digiscoping, and enables me to video at quite a long range. And here you can see, once it's zoomed in, it's a pretty reasonable image for something that's almost about 1.5 miles away from where I was. Now I'm going to pass you over to my colleague Julia Newth, who's our swan researcher here at Slimbridge, and she's been on a recent visit to look for Buick swans in the lovely land of Estonia.
Right, it's a really exciting time of year here at Slimbridge. We're waiting any day now for our first arrivals of Buick swans, our long-distance swan migrants from the high Arctic Russian tundra, 2,500 miles away. So it's a huge journey they're currently undertaking as I speak now. They're a little bit late at the moment, actually. I am looking for them, but they're a little bit late arriving here, probably because it's a little bit warmer than usual. So that will delay them slightly. Although we had very exciting news last week. The first was seen approaching British shores and flying over our wetlands centre at Welney. We know there are 2,000 swans in Holland as we speak, and last week I was lucky enough to join the BBC Autumnwatch team in Estonia to see the swans staging on migration. So Estonia is a very important country for the Bewick swans. It's their first stopping off point on their long migration from Russia, and that's why we and the BBC Autumnwatch team were interested in going there. Our primary aim was to try and assess how well they had done in the breeding season this year. So simply how many cygnets they were bringing to northwest Europe, which eventually we managed to do after much kind of driving around and searching for them and going out on boats and all sorts of things. We identified some nice family groups coming in. Around about 5% of the swans we were looking at were youngsters, which sounds low, but at this stage of the season it's not too bad, as we'll be expecting more to be following, but it looks a little bit more promising than we thought at the moment. So it was a really fantastic experience being with the Autumnwatch team in Estonia. For me it was particularly special. I've studied the Buick swans and their wintering sites in the UK for 10 years now. I've seen them in the Arctic breeding grounds, so this was the last piece of the jigsaw, the last part of the cycle for me, was to see them on their main staging grounds in Eastern Europe. So it was absolutely brilliant. It was a bit of a wild goose chase at times. We were having to race around quite a lot and get really good information from our local people on the ground. But it was also brilliant to talk to the Autumnwatch team a little bit about the work WWT are doing with international colleagues across the whole flyway to conserve the Bewick swan and to address the population decline. So any day now we're expecting our first wild Bewick swans to drop down onto the reserve. We're expecting 300 to 400 of them throughout the course of the winter. And you don't have to travel all the way to Estonia to see them. Fortunately, we have wild bird feeds which are starting this coming Saturday and will be rolling out daily throughout the winter, where you can watch the wild Bewick swans within metres from a nice heated observatory, or for those lucky enough with a view like this, maybe from the office window.
Now, one little bird to look out for this week is the stonechat, and this is a relative of the robin. It's from the chat family, and it's quite easy to find because they're very much creature of habit. They like to hunt off fence lines or posts or the top of a hedgerow. So they'll be sat up looking for prey, which are any kind of insect, and then they'll drop down to catch the prey and then back up onto the same perch. Not been great the last couple of winters, and there's plenty around this year, so it's a really good opportunity to get out and look for this rather beautiful little bird. And we can see this individual here is a male with the nice black head, the white around the neck, and the that lovely orange on the front. So good luck, and I hope you manage to find a few this week. Well, if you've enjoyed this video and want to see more, then click on our logo and subscribe to our news e-letter, and you'll receive an email every week with the latest video, so you won't miss a single episode. And keep up to date with our latest bird sightings on Twitter. Follow us at Slimbridge Wild for the very, very latest news from me and the rest of the team. Have a good week.